Hi everyone, and welcome to the session. Some of you might have noticed that I did not post a video last week, and I'll explain in a moment why. So if you're joining for the first time, make sure to start from the very first session, which is on my YouTube channel. So subscribe to this so that you get notified every time that I do post a new masterclass. So why didn't I post last week? I was hitting a bit of a wall. So as I told you from the first session, that I'm going with you through this journey. I am doing all the techniques, everything that I'm teaching you, I am applying myself in my life. I've hit a wall that some might call the dark soul of the night or incubation period. There's many different terms, that we can call it. But basically, what happens is you start manifesting, and then you reach a point where it seems like nothing is working out, as if actually the opposite is happening. And there's something very important that I realized why that happened. And I'm making a note of that because it just came to mind. There's a very important reason why this happens. So, firstly, you are putting your intention on creating change in your life, for whatever that might be. Manifesting the love of your life, manifesting money or career, it doesn't matter. You are putting out the intention that you want to change something in your reality. So then, of course, you are going to, get a response from the universe, call it that, to show you then exactly what you need to work on that will take you to the next level. All right. So things are going to show up. Things will surface that was dormant previously in your life. And it will reflect the subconscious beliefs that has been creating the old reality that you no longer want in your life, which means now it is realizing, it's materializing, it is in your face. You cannot avoid it. And in those moments, it's very, very important to also be kinder to yourself, and take care of yourself because it's a difficult time. I'm not going to lie. It is not easy. This journey is not for everyone. It is not easy. You are faced with all your fears, all your doubts, your insecurities. You will be faced with them and you will have to deal with them. So I had to be very honest with myself and in that time ask myself very important questions. So there's a few things, three things that's actually very important. Firstly, you have to ask yourself and be truthful to yourself. What do you really want? Okay. Very important question. You might think, okay, but I want to be, successful. I want to be financially free. I want to be a millionaire. That is not enough. And that is not truly deep down what you really, really want. Because you can't, for example, if you say that I want to be a millionaire, now you're writing your goals and your life vision as a version of you that is financially free and doing whatever you want, with your financial freedom. But that is not truly what's going to get you there because what means will bring you to that financial freedom, or whether it's a partner or health, it's the same concept. What do you truly, truly want? You can't want to be financially free yet you are stuck in a career which you don't enjoy. I mean, money is not going to fall out of air. It's not going to be attracted to you like magically, check in the post. You have to do something. Now, I had to self-reflect to myself, quite honestly, because I love what I do. I love coaching. I love helping people. I get immense, fulfillment from helping others. But there's another part of me that is nudging me there in the background that I have a bigger dream. I have a huge dream that I've actually parked for quite a couple of years because this dream is so big, that it does scare me because I don't know, how it's going to realize because it's such a huge, huge dream that I don't know, if it's ever going to happen, how it's going to happen. where the money will come from. But then I realized I had to stop and ask myself what I truly want. And the moment that I started thinking in that direction, getting excited about that idea, things started to shift. And I'll tell you in a moment, a few things that shifted. So be very clear. What is it that you really, really want? If you're unhappy in your relationship, stop trying to fix your partner. What do you really want? Because there's also a lot, when it comes to relationships that we have to delve within ourselves, because many of those triggers comes from our own lack of self-worth and so forth. But that is a different session. So be very clear. What do you truly want and why do you want it? It must be something that really brings a spark within you. Because that will allow you then, as Neil Donald Walsh said, the secret to creating your life is to be, then do, then have. And I spoke about embodiment a while ago in the previous session. You cannot embody a version of you if you don't have a very, very clear picture of what you are doing in the future, what type of life you are living, how you might be serving others. You are doing your dream job, you have your dream business, your dream life. You need to be very, very specific, because that will allow you to then do the be part, to put yourself into that version of you and walking like that version of you, talking like that version, dressing, everything that you do, you are being that version of you. But it's not just to pretend and stay there. Then the action comes, and the action is inspired. It's not like you have to figure it out. You just feel driven to either call someone or write a business plan, but there's some idea that you might get. And it will then bring you eventually to the having part. But the key to everything is being, changing your identity, embodying that version of you. But then you need to know who that version of you is. So what's happening in that moment when it seems like the opposite is actually manifesting? Now you are faced with the actual beliefs that you need to work on that will take you to the next level. Now, this is hard work. I don't want to make this seem effortless, because there's many manifestation teachers out there that talks about quantum leaps, etc., as if it's effortless. This is the simplest, but yet the hardest work that you'll ever do. It is not easy. If it was easy, every single person in the world would have been successful and fulfilled, which is not the case. So this is not easy. You need to face your fears. You need to truly identify what are the limiting beliefs, and your reality is showing you. So whatever is in your reality is your mirror, and that is reflecting your subconscious beliefs. So use your environment. What is your environment saying to you? And then you go and write down your beliefs and you change those beliefs by whatever means that you feel work for you. It could be meditation, it could be tapping, any form of release, shifting those beliefs, affirmations, etc. And another thing that came up, especially if you want to manifest financial freedom or being a millionaire, lots of money, success, you need to look at your self-worth, the value that you attach to yourself is connected to your value in terms of worth that attracts money or not. I know it might not completely make sense, but if you look at worth, value, that is how we measure the value of things. It's how much it costs. There's a price tag on everything. And the more expensive it is, the more we might value it, because it's really, important, it's expensive. So what is your worth? So just ask yourself that question. Do you feel worthy? And how you might know that is imagine yourself being financially free, living the life that you want. Does it feel comfortable or does it bring discomfort? Is there something deep down that tells you that you are not worthy of having that? You don't deserve having that. So then it means you need to go and work on your self-worth, your deservingness. Very, very crucial. So there's a few key elements in this session that I want you to reflect upon and then work on. Something that I found very helpful is something that I found, that is a bit different from the technique that I shared with you to write your vision, which is great. You need to have your vision of your life written down. You need to have your goals. But then there's a next step, and it's called to script your life. It means to journal every morning or every evening, scripting your life, scripting that future version of you, your perfect life, your vision, writing it down every day as if it is a reality, that you are grateful for the fact that you are financially free and that you're doing all these things, or that you're successful, in, your business, and all the amazing clients that you attract and all the amazing people and synchronicities that happens in your life. Write it down, script your life. It is super powerful. And the reason why it's so powerful is it opens up your imagination, because the moment that you write something down, you immediately visualize it. And then you start seeing it in your mind's eye. And that triggers the feelings that you need in order for that to become a reality. Getting excited about it, feeling grateful. So it puts you in the right vibration that is necessary for you to, get closer to your goal. All right, and then something else I wanted to mention. The moment that I realized these three things that I've mentioned to you, what I really want, and putting my focus and attention on it, even though it's scary, identifying the beliefs that's showing up because of my reality that wants to shift, and looking at my self-worth, things shifted immediately. I felt lighter, I felt free, and that is where the faith comes in, to trust the process, stop trying to figure everything out. And the moment I did that, oh, and there's something else I did. I went on a detox. And I would urge you to go through a detox, even if it's just 3 or 5 days, eating clean foods, raw fruit, veggies, lots of water, herbal teas, etc. Whatever, will work for you. Because that detox also clears out your system. It clears your mind, feeling lighter, feeling open. So that's something else that I did in this process, and I would urge you to do. And the moment that I got out of that slump and I realized what I need to really focus on, there's interesting things that happened, synchronicities. So there was a client that was calling me the morning that I've seen a couple of months ago, and she told me that she felt that she wanted to help me with my social media and my website presence. And she did not know that at this point last week, I was focusing on rewriting, my whole business. And that's what we tend to do. The moment that things go wrong, then we start to focus on the things that is outside of us, rewriting my website, looking at my SEOs and keywords, and I have no clue what I'm doing, but I had lots of time on my hands. And here she calls me that she feels called to help me, not charging me for it, and she wants to assist me. And I'm like, you can't believe that this is perfect timing. So this is how abundance flows into your life, getting help with the things you need, or the resources that you need to get you to where you want to go. It starts falling into place. Half an hour later, I have a friend that called me that said she's going to bless me with a spa treatment with her. And I was like, wow, okay, just bring it on, universe. I'm grateful, thankful, for all the resources coming my way. And something else that happened that was quite amazing is this vision that I have, which I'm not going to share quite yet. I'm still working on this vision, this big dream that I have. I've got a very specific picture in my mind that I've put up on my vision board. And I've met someone recently, and I was chatting to her, and she was explaining to me this vision that she's had for like over 20 years of this place. And she was explaining what it looked like. And I said, hold on a second. I went and I grabbed my pictures from my vision board. I gave it to her. I said, is this what your vision looks like? And she was stunned. She was shocked. She was like, how? How is this happening? And I'm just grateful for the synchronicities that is now starting to fall in place. And I know that this big dream will realize, and I'm trusting that the right people will come my way that will make this a reality. I'm going to stop figuring it out, how I'm going to get there. I'm just going to follow what excites me most. And that might be just looking at pictures, drawing it, imagining it, writing it down, because that brings that feeling of passion, which is absolutely necessary. So yes, I hope that my personal journey is helping you. And I want you to know that it is normal to go through those phases where absolutely nothing happens. It seems like everything is going wrong. Everything is happening on the opposite direction. But also know that this might be a reflection of the past you, all those old beliefs. But in that moment, you need to be clear. Are you truly on the right journey? Do you really want the things for the right reasons, or just for the sake of, just being rich, which is not the right reason? What do you want? Why do you want it? Look at your reality. What's it teaching you? What are those beliefs? And then let go of those beliefs and look at your self-worth, please. Identify, because I know that self-worth plays a huge role in this. All right, so good luck on your journey and your self-reflection. I will see you again in the next session.